They say that accountability never sleeps, and in the life of a Navy SEAL, that's not just a saying. It's a rule engraved into every fiber of existence. From the moment a SEAL wakes up before dawn, laces up boots, and steps into the world, every action, every choice, every movement carries weight. There is no room for thinking that someone might not notice. There is no luxury in assuming that mistakes will go unseen. In training, in operations, in the quiet moments between missions, a SEAL learns quickly that accountability is constant, relentless, and unforgiving. It is the silent observer, always present, even when no one else seems to be watching. During BUD/S, the brutal and transformative basic underwater demolition/SEAL training, this lesson is hammered home every single day. From the ice-cold ocean swims to the hours of running with equipment far heavier than the body seems capable of carrying, the instructors watch. Not just for physical performance, but for attitude, for mental toughness, for the way a trainee responds when the body screams to stop. Every slip, every hesitation, every shortcut is noticed, and while it might seem that attention is only on the strongest or the loudest, in reality, nothing escapes notice. It's in the way a trainee helps, or doesn't help, a struggling teammate. It's in the way they maintain, or fail to maintain, their gear. It's in the way they show respect, or disregard, for the structure, the discipline, and the code they've sworn to uphold. No one can hide, and that is the point. Accountability never sleeps because it's not about punishment alone. It's about survival, about trust, about being ready for the moment when every choice matters. In the field, this principle takes on an even sharper edge. A SEAL might be in the middle of the desert, the jungle, or a hostile urban environment, and no one else is around. Yet, the weight of accountability does not lessen. Every action, every decision, every microsecond of hesitation or overconfidence can mean the difference between success and failure, life and death. It is during these moments that the internalized lessons of constant accountability become most critical. A SEAL acts not because someone is watching, but because they know someone will always be affected by their choices. Their teammates, the mission, and even civilians caught in the crossfire all rely on the unbroken chain of responsibility that each SEAL carries with them. Accountability is not an external pressure. It is an internal compass that guides every step. Even outside of the battlefield, the principle holds. A SEAL's life is structured in such a way that the habits of accountability seep into everything. Early mornings, strict physical training, meticulous maintenance of equipment, attention to detail and planning. These are not done for applause or recognition. They are done because the mindset of constant accountability has become ingrained. It's understanding that every action, even when unseen, has a ripple effect. When no one is looking, a SEAL checks their gear twice, cleans their weapon thoroughly, ensures their team has all the support they might need. These actions, seemingly small or invisible to the casual observer, matter. They reflect the understanding that accountability never sleeps, because someone, somewhere, always depends on it. Accountability in a SEAL's world is also about integrity. It's about doing the right thing even when no one is watching. Cutting corners, taking the easy path, or ignoring responsibilities might not bring immediate consequences in civilian life. But for a SEAL, there is no separation between duty and character. Every choice is a reflection of the person they are and the person their teammates rely on. The ethos of a SEAL is built around the idea that your actions define you, and that the safety, effectiveness, and trust of the entire team rest on each individual's unwavering commitment to excellence and responsibility. Moreover, accountability extends to leadership, where the stakes are magnified. A SEAL in a leadership role is acutely aware that every decision, every instruction, every oversight has a direct impact on those under their command. It is not enough to lead when people are watching. Effective leadership demands consistency and vigilance at all times. Leaders are observed not only by superiors, but by peers and subordinates alike. The best SEAL leaders understand that accountability is not selective, it is constant. Their integrity, their actions, and their attention to detail set the standard, creating an environment where every team member feels the same responsibility to uphold the mission and the team's safety. Even in moments of rest or downtime, accountability does not fade. In conversations, In how a SEAL carries themselves in public, even in how they treat strangers, accountability remains a silent observer. It is the recognition that character is always on display, whether in the spotlight or in the shadows. The habits formed under extreme pressure, extreme scrutiny, and extreme expectations become a framework for life. A SEAL internalizes the principle that every choice matters, because the unseen consequences of actions often carry the heaviest weight. Accountability never sleeps because it is not a rule imposed from the outside. It is a mindset cultivated within. It is the invisible force that ensures a SEAL stays true to their training, their team, and their values. It is the silent observer that keeps one honest, disciplined, and prepared. Every action, no matter how small, is a testament to that unwavering vigilance. It is a principle that shapes a SEAL long before they see combat and stays with them long after, influencing every aspect of their life. The concept also reinforces resilience. When mistakes happen, accountability is there to guide the response. It teaches reflection, adaptation, and learning. A SEAL understands that ignoring responsibility only compounds failure, while facing it head-on builds strength. Mistakes are not hidden or excused. They are analyzed, corrected, and internalized so that the pattern is never repeated. Accountability, in this sense, is both a mirror and a guide. It shows what was done, what could have been done better, and what must be done next. It is not harshness or punishment that defines this principle, but the recognition that constant vigilance creates reliability. In life and death situations, there is no second chance for oversight. A SEAL internalizes that principle early, and it becomes second nature. Every action is deliberate, every decision weighed, every moment respected. Accountability never sleeps because, in the world of a SEAL, there is no time when vigilance is unnecessary, and no place where responsibility can be ignored. Small actions have big consequences. In the life of a Navy SEAL, this is not a cliché or a motivational slogan. It is a reality that is experienced daily, from the most minor decisions to the highest stakes moments in the field. The mindset that even the tiniest act can ripple into something much larger is what separates those who survive and excel from those who falter. A SEAL knows that the world is composed of interconnected actions, each one affecting the next. A seemingly insignificant mistake, a moment of inattention, or a casual disregard for procedure can create a chain reaction that has devastating effects. Conversely, the smallest acts of diligence, courage, or foresight can prevent disaster, save lives, and build trust within the team. In training, this principle is instilled relentlessly. Every detail matters. How a trainee folds a uniform, how they tie their boots, how they maintain their weapon. These actions may appear minor to an outsider, but they are the foundation of discipline and operational effectiveness. A loose shoelace might seem trivial, but during an obstacle course, it can cause a stumble, a delay, or an injury that affects not just one trainee, but the entire team's performance. The instructors observe, not to punish, but to teach that consistency and attention to detail create reliability. Over time, these small actions form habits that carry into every mission, every task, and every moment of life. The SEAL learns that it is not the dramatic, visible acts of heroism alone that define success, but the accumulation of small, deliberate choices. In operational settings, the principle becomes even more stark. A SEAL on a reconnaissance mission may notice a slight change in the environment. A door left slightly open, a piece of equipment out of place, a sound that is barely perceptible. Acting on these small observations can mean the difference between a mission succeeding or failing, between a team returning safely or suffering losses. Each choice, each action, however minor it seems, has consequences that ripple outward. This is why preparation is exhaustive and planning is meticulous. Every route is mapped, every contingency considered, every piece of gear checked and double-checked. A SEAL understands that neglecting even the smallest detail is not a gamble. It is an unnecessary risk. Even outside the immediate context of missions, small actions influence team cohesion and trust. A word spoken at the wrong time, a failure to communicate clearly, or a brief lapse in judgment can undermine confidence among teammates. Conversely, offering support when a teammate struggles, sharing knowledge, or anticipating needs creates a foundation of trust and reliability. The SEAL understands that leadership is not only demonstrated in high-stakes situations, but is built steadily through consistent, small acts that show care, responsibility, and awareness. These small contributions compound, creating a culture of accountability and mutual respect that sustains the team under pressure. In a broader sense, the principle of small actions leading to big consequences reflects the way SEALs approach personal responsibility. It is never acceptable to assume that no one will notice, or it doesn't matter. Every decision, even in private or in routine tasks, is recognized as having potential impact. For example, failing to maintain physical conditioning, ignoring nutrition, or skimping on practice may not have immediate visible consequences, but over time these habits weaken performance and resilience. A SEAL knows that success is built incrementally, step by step, choice by choice. The smallest neglects, repeated over time, compound into major obstacles, while disciplined, deliberate actions compound into skill, strength, and reliability. The principle also extends to split-second decision-making in life-or-death scenarios. A target missed, a miscommunication, or a delayed reaction can change the outcome of an operation in an instant. Yet these split-second decisions are built upon countless smaller actions taken before the moment, training under stress, honing instincts, reinforcing procedures, and cultivating situational awareness. The SEAL internalizes that mastery is not accidental, but the product of persistent attention to detail and the accumulation of small, correct actions over time. Accountability, discipline, and foresight are all magnified by this principle. The SEAL understands that big consequences rarely appear out of nowhere. They emerge from the accumulation of small decisions. Whether it's the precision of handling explosives, the timing of movement under fire, or the careful planning of logistics, each choice contributes to the larger picture. Overlooking a minor detail can jeopardize an entire operation, while attending to seemingly trivial matters can prevent catastrophe. The SEAL's mindset is therefore always focused, vigilant, and deliberate. This awareness also shapes the mental approach to adversity. In the field, unexpected challenges will always arise, and mistakes are inevitable. What defines a SEAL is not perfection, but the ability to recognize the consequences of every small action and respond accordingly. Adaptation, correction, and vigilance become ingrained habits. A SEAL learns that being proactive in addressing small issues before they escalate is far more effective than reacting to crises after the fact. Prevention, preparation, and attention to detail are not optional. They are essential survival skills. Even in the quieter moments, away from missions and training, small actions continue to matter. Maintaining gear, supporting fellow teammates, reinforcing communication, or adhering to personal routines all contribute to readiness and cohesion. A SEAL never underestimates the ripple effect of minor actions because each one has the potential to influence outcomes far beyond the immediate moment. This mindset creates a life lived with purpose, awareness, and intentionality. The understanding that small actions have big consequences also influences ethical choices. A decision to cut corners, take an easy path, or ignore responsibility can escalate quickly into serious problems. Conversely, acts of integrity, vigilance, and responsibility may seem minor at first but establish trust, respect, and reliability that persist and compound over time. The SEAL internalizes that consequences are inevitable and that every action, no matter how small, contributes to a larger narrative of success, failure, trust, and survival. Trust is built in the unseen moments. For a Navy SEAL, trust is not something that is declared with words or assumed from appearances. It is earned in the quiet, unobserved moments when the pressure is subtle, the risk is real, and the consequences are often invisible until it's too late to act. A SEAL learns early that trust cannot be faked, cannot be demanded, and cannot survive without proof. Every action, every decision, and every demonstration of competence contributes to the network of reliability that a team depends on. In those moments that seem small or routine, trust is quietly being tested, and every SEAL is constantly aware that their teammates are watching, even when it appears that no one is paying attention. During the grueling phases of SEAL training, trust is constantly challenged. In BUD/S, For instance, teamwork is pushed to the extreme, physically, mentally, and emotionally. Trainees are forced into situations where success depends on the consistency and reliability of others. One person faltering in a boat paddle, one person hesitating during a swim, one person failing to follow instructions exactly, can compromise the entire group. The instructors are always observing, but even more critical is that each trainee is observing each other. Every effort, every hesitation, every act of support or neglect is logged mentally and contributes to the collective sense of who can be relied upon. Trust is not built in grand gestures. It is built in repetitive, seemingly insignificant interactions, passing a piece of gear at the right moment, motivating a teammate through exhaustion, keeping calm when others panic. These unseen actions accumulate into a sense of reliability that forms the bedrock of operational effectiveness. In operational environments, this principle becomes even more vital. When a SEAL is on a covert mission, the stakes are high, and the margin for error is almost non-existent. Team members must be able to rely on each other implicitly, without hesitation, without second-guessing. A decision to move silently across a building, to check a corner before entering, or to cover a teammate while they perform a task. All of these are small actions that establish trust in ways that words cannot. Each team member observes not only the success of the task, but the integrity and awareness behind it. If someone cuts corners, if someone hesitates or fails to perform their role precisely, the trust that allows the team to function cohesively erodes. In a SEAL team, trust is earned in the details, in the unseen preparation, and in the moments where actions speak louder than any verbal assurances could. Trust also extends to leadership. A SEAL leader is constantly making decisions that affect not only the mission but the lives of their teammates. The team's confidence in a leader is built over time, based on a consistent pattern of competence, judgment, and integrity in situations both visible and invisible. A leader who maintains their composure, demonstrates foresight, and handles minor setbacks with responsibility earns trust in ways that are far more enduring than any speech or promise could. The team knows that in high-pressure situations, the leader's reliability in those unseen moments will manifest in critical decisions that could save lives. Trust, in this sense, is both earned and reinforced continuously through small, deliberate, and consistent actions. Even outside of direct operations, trust is maintained in routines and preparation. SEALs know that readiness is a constant process. Maintaining equipment, keeping up physical conditioning, sharing intelligence, and supporting team members in subtle ways all contribute to a network of reliability. These actions are not flashy and often go unnoticed by outsiders, but they are visible to those who depend on them. In these moments, trust is being quietly reinforced. A SEAL who consistently performs in ways that protect the team, even when unnoticed, builds a foundation of confidence that ensures smooth coordination under extreme pressure. Trust is also deeply tied to accountability. A SEAL recognizes that failing to uphold responsibilities, even in the smallest matters, can fracture confidence and compromise safety. It is not enough to demonstrate competence during missions. Trust is built by showing consistency in every action, every task, and every interaction. The unseen moments, preparing gear meticulously, reviewing mission plans carefully, maintaining situational awareness, supporting a teammate quietly. These moments signal reliability and strengthen trust in ways that words cannot. The concept extends to mental resilience as well. Trust in a SEAL team is not only about physical actions, but about emotional stability, judgment, and the ability to stay composed under stress. When one team member falters, others must know they can rely on their presence, their calm, and their decision-making. These demonstrations often occur in unobserved moments: a reassuring word, a steady hand, a quiet intervention when tension rises. Over time, these small acts compound into a robust sense of trust that is felt even in the most dangerous scenarios. Moreover, trust in a SEAL team creates a cycle of accountability and responsibility. Each member understands that their reliability affects not only their own safety, but the effectiveness and confidence of the entire unit. When a SEAL knows they can depend on a teammate without question, it allows them to focus fully on their responsibilities. The unseen moments where someone carries their weight, follows through, and remains vigilant under subtle pressures are what reinforce this bond. Trust becomes an invisible but unbreakable thread, woven from countless minor acts of diligence, care, and integrity. Every SEAL internalizes that trust is not static. It is continuously earned and maintained. Moments that seem inconsequential, repetitive, or unseen are, in reality, the crucibles in which trust is forged. Every time a SEAL chooses to act with precision, responsibility, and consideration for others, trust strengthens. Every time someone slips, hesitates, or neglects duty, trust weakens. The accumulation of these small, unseen moments creates the difference between a team that functions seamlessly under extreme conditions and one that falters when the stakes are highest. Trust, once established, empowers a team to operate beyond the limits of individual capability. It allows each member to focus on their role without doubt, to anticipate actions without explicit instruction, and to respond instinctively in dangerous situations. This kind of trust is cultivated quietly, in repetitive, unnoticed actions that demonstrate reliability, responsibility, and commitment. For a SEAL, the recognition that trust is built in the unseen moments shapes every choice, guides every action, and defines every relationship within the team. Discipline is silent but visible. In the world of a Navy SEAL, discipline is not about making noise, seeking attention, or drawing recognition. It is about performing consistently, following standards, and adhering to routines, even when no one is watching. Discipline manifests in small, quiet actions that, over time, create a visible pattern of excellence. It is the backbone of every operation, the invisible force that keeps teams synchronized, and the invisible framework that ensures that success in high-pressure situations is possible. The most disciplined SEALs are often the ones whose presence is subtle yet unmistakable. Their consistency speaks louder than any words ever could. From the earliest stages of training, SEAL candidates learn that discipline is not optional. It is instilled through repetition, structure, and expectation. Trainees are woken before dawn, forced through grueling physical exercises, and pushed to the edge of mental and physical endurance. Every drill, every exercise, every assignment is designed to test not just skill but consistency, perseverance, and adherence to protocol. Discipline is silent in these moments because it does not announce itself. It is proven in the ability to continue, to follow instructions, and to maintain composure when exhaustion and frustration push to the breaking point. A SEAL who masters this form of quiet discipline becomes someone the team can rely on implicitly because their actions are predictable, precise, and unwavering. Discipline also extends to preparation and attention to detail. Every piece of gear, every weapon, every tactical plan is meticulously maintained and reviewed. A SEAL knows that failure to maintain a rifle or miscalculate a loadout could have catastrophic consequences, yet these actions often go unnoticed by outsiders. The discipline lies not in being observed, but in consistently executing these tasks correctly, day after day. The visible result of this silent discipline is a team that functions like a well-oiled machine, even in chaotic environments where split-second decisions determine life or death. In operational settings, the concept of silent discipline becomes even more critical. On a mission, a SEAL may move through dangerous terrain, remain hidden for hours, or perform highly technical tasks that demand precision and calm. Discipline is not a performance for others. It is the internalized standard that ensures that every step is measured, every decision considered, and every action deliberate. Even under extreme pressure, a disciplined SEAL follows training, adheres to procedures, and maintains composure. To an observer, it may seem effortless or natural, but behind every movement is the result of years of disciplined practice and internalized standards. The silence of discipline allows the focus to remain on the mission, the team, and the task at hand, without distraction or deviation. Discipline also influences behavior beyond physical tasks. A SEAL's mental and emotional discipline is critical. Managing stress, maintaining focus, and controlling impulses are all essential to operational success. This discipline is not performed for recognition. It is developed and exercised in private, often in quiet reflection or during grueling mental challenges. It shows up in the ability to remain calm when a mission goes wrong, to persevere when fatigue threatens performance, and to make decisions with clarity and precision even under extreme pressure. These silent acts of control and self-mastery are as important as any physical skill and are often more visible in their long-term effects than in the moment of execution. Accountability and discipline are intertwined. A disciplined SEAL does not need constant supervision because the habit of doing what is required, consistently and correctly, has been internalized. Discipline is silent because it does not seek approval, but it is visible in its results. Teams operate effectively because every member performs reliably, knows their role, and fulfills their responsibilities without prompting. The silent nature of discipline creates trust, cohesion, and resilience, and it ensures that the team can function seamlessly, even under the most stressful circumstances. In training, discipline is tested continuously through unexpected challenges. Tasks are designed to create discomfort, to introduce uncertainty, and to push candidates beyond perceived limits. Success in these situations is never about raw talent alone. It is about the ability to apply discipline consistently. Candidates who remain composed, follow procedures, and complete tasks correctly, despite fatigue or confusion, demonstrate a mastery of silent discipline. Their performance is visible not in self-promotion, but in results. The mission is accomplished, the team moves forward, and the operation continues without error. Even in routine, everyday tasks, discipline is essential. SEALs maintain physical fitness, review tactical plans, and care for equipment not because someone is watching, but because discipline has become a habit. This silent discipline is reinforced by the understanding that small lapses can have disproportionate consequences. Missing a detail, overlooking a step, or skipping a routine check might seem inconsequential at the moment, but discipline ensures that these actions are carried out meticulously, consistently, and without fail. Leadership within a SEAL team depends heavily on silent discipline. Leaders who model discipline through their actions, rather than words, inspire confidence and set the standard for the team. Their quiet consistency becomes a visible benchmark, guiding behavior, setting expectations, and reinforcing the culture of accountability and reliability. It is through these acts that teams develop resilience, trust, and the ability to execute under extreme conditions. Discipline also shapes personal character, extending beyond missions and training. The habits, routines, and commitment to standards developed in service create a foundation for lifelong behavior. The SEAL who has mastered silent discipline continues to embody it in daily life, in interactions with others, and in personal pursuits. The visibility of this discipline is not flashy or performative, but it is undeniable in its outcomes, reliability, effectiveness, and the respect of those who observe it over time. Through all of these layers, the essence of silent discipline becomes clear. It is internal, consistent, and invisible to those who do not understand its purpose. Yet its effects are unmistakable. Teams function effectively, missions succeed, and individuals achieve excellence because discipline is applied quietly, repeatedly, and without fanfare. The SEAL who embraces this principle demonstrates that true mastery is often unspoken, and the most powerful actions are those performed consistently, faithfully, and without the need for recognition. Every teammate matters, even when alone. For a Navy SEAL, this is not just a motivational phrase. It is a principle that defines every action, every decision, and every thought. A SEAL knows that their responsibility extends far beyond themselves. Their actions, or inactions, directly affect the lives of those around them. Even when a SEAL appears to be acting alone, the weight of responsibility to their teammates is ever present. This understanding shapes behavior in ways that are invisible to outsiders but critical to the cohesion, effectiveness, and survival of the team. The mentality is simple but profound. No action exists in isolation, and no individual operates in a vacuum. From the earliest stages of training, this principle is drilled into SEAL candidates. In exercises designed to simulate combat in extreme conditions, trainees must navigate challenges not only for themselves, but for the success of the group. One individual failing to complete a task correctly can compromise the safety and performance of the entire team. The instructors emphasize that even small mistakes, when multiplied across team members, can lead to catastrophic outcomes. As a result, trainees learn to be aware of each other constantly, to support each other silently, and to anticipate needs before they are expressed. Even when a SEAL seems to be acting independently, they are executing with the team in mind. In operational scenarios, the concept becomes even more crucial. A SEAL may be deployed in hostile environments where direct communication is limited, visibility is low, and every decision carries high stakes. In these situations, thinking only of oneself is not an option. Each action is calculated with the understanding that a teammate may rely on it. Covering a flank, holding a position, or securing an exit is not simply about personal safety. It is about ensuring that the team functions effectively and that each member can rely on one another implicitly. In these moments, the presence of the team is felt even when they are not physically nearby, and the responsibility to protect, support, and anticipate their needs is constant. Even in seemingly routine tasks, the principle of valuing every teammate is evident. Maintaining gear, checking each other's equipment, or offering subtle guidance during training builds a culture of mutual reliance. The SEAL who takes the time to ensure a teammate's rifle is clean, their pack is balanced, or their navigation plan is double-checked is demonstrating the belief that every teammate matters. These actions are often invisible to outsiders, but are recognized and appreciated within the team. They create a web of reliability where each member feels supported, and that support becomes vital in the pressure cooker situations of actual missions. This mindset also extends to leadership. A SEAL leader understands that effective command depends not on authority alone, but on genuine concern and responsibility for every team member. Leaders must make decisions that account for each individual's strengths, weaknesses, and safety. A failure to do so can compromise morale, effectiveness, and survival. Leadership is therefore a delicate balance of strategic decision-making and interpersonal awareness, where the principle that every teammate matters informs even the most minor choices. A strong leader recognizes that success is collective, not individual, and that the well-being of the team underpins every operational achievement. Even in solitary moments, the concept persists. A SEAL acting alone, whether on reconnaissance, surveillance, or a split-second maneuver, carries the weight of their teammates' trust. Every step taken, every decision made, and every risk evaluated is done with the knowledge that it affects not just personal survival, but the success of the mission and the safety of others. The invisible thread of accountability connects each SEAL to their team, reinforcing the idea that no one truly operates in isolation. Actions taken when alone are guided by the awareness that teammates are counting on consistency, reliability, and foresight, even if they are not physically present. This principle also cultivates vigilance. Awareness of teammates' positions, responsibilities, and conditions becomes second nature. A SEAL scans for threats, monitors the performance of others, and anticipates potential issues constantly. This hyper-awareness is not paranoia. It is the result of rigorous training and internalized responsibility. It ensures that even when physically separated, SEALs can coordinate seamlessly, mitigate risks, and respond effectively to changing situations. The unseen actions of preparation, observation, and anticipation form the backbone of operational success. Mutual support extends beyond immediate safety and effectiveness. It includes emotional and mental resilience. SEALs are trained to recognize stress, fatigue, and hesitation in their teammates, even when those signs are subtle. Offering encouragement, guidance, or reassurance, sometimes without words, reinforces the idea that each teammate is valued and that their struggles matter. These acts, often unnoticed by outsiders, build trust, morale, and cohesion. They show that even small gestures of attention can have a profound impact on the team's overall effectiveness and well-being. The principle also emphasizes interdependence. While SEALs are capable of extraordinary individual feats, their strength is amplified exponentially when every member contributes consistently and reliably. The acknowledgement that every teammate matters ensures that individual actions are aligned with team objectives. Cooperation, coordination, and consideration become ingrained habits, ensuring that the team functions as a single, cohesive unit. Even in situations where a SEAL must operate independently for extended periods, this understanding does not waver. Every movement, decision, and strategy is influenced by the awareness of the team's reliance on them. Their preparation, vigilance, and execution reflect an unspoken commitment to ensure that no one is left unsupported. This mindset transforms isolated action into a continuation of collective effort, reinforcing the principle that each person and every action matters. The awareness that every teammate matters shapes decision-making under pressure. SEALs calculate risks with consideration for others, choosing strategies that protect and support the team while still achieving mission objectives. Every small act, from covering a teammate's position to providing information silently, contributes to the larger outcome. The mindset transforms ordinary actions into critical contributions, emphasizing that individual behavior, even when unseen, has a profound effect on the success and safety of the entire team. Integrity is doing right when no one knows. For a Navy SEAL, integrity is not something reserved for moments of recognition or public attention. It is a constant, guiding principle that shapes every decision, every action, and every thought. Integrity is silent, invisible, and often unnoticed, but it is the foundation upon which trust, accountability, and effectiveness are built. A SEAL understands that even the smallest compromises, the tiniest lapses in honesty or responsibility, can have far-reaching consequences. Acting with integrity, especially when unobserved, is not about reward. It is about self-discipline, reliability, and the understanding that every action carries weight beyond immediate perception. From the earliest days of training, integrity is instilled as a non-negotiable value. In BUD/S, candidates face physical, mental, and emotional challenges that test not only endurance but character. Instructors observe every action, but even when direct oversight is absent, a trainee's choices reveal the strength of their integrity. Returning borrowed equipment properly, completing tasks fully without cutting corners, or stepping up to support a struggling teammate. These acts, often unnoticed, are markers of integrity. They demonstrate that a SEAL acts correctly not for external approval, but because they understand the stakes and the importance of doing what is right. The training environment emphasizes that character is built in the invisible moments, and those who fail to act with integrity cannot reliably function within the team or in combat situations. Integrity manifests in attention to detail and adherence to procedure. A SEAL may be tasked with maintaining complex equipment, preparing a mission plan, or performing repeated drills. The correct execution of these tasks, even when unobserved, reflects integrity. Cleaning a weapon thoroughly, checking gear meticulously, or reviewing a plan carefully are small, deliberate acts that may go unnoticed externally, but have enormous implications for safety, effectiveness, and mission success. Integrity in these moments ensures that errors are minimized, risks are reduced, and the team can depend on each individual to uphold their responsibilities. In operational settings, integrity is critical to survival. Missions often involve high stakes, unpredictable environments, and split-second decisions. Even when a SEAL is physically isolated from teammates or observers, integrity dictates their behavior. Choosing to act cautiously, to verify information, or to adhere to protocols ensures that mistakes are avoided and that the team's mission is supported. These decisions, made in solitude, reflect the internalized commitment to doing right regardless of external validation. A SEAL's reputation, reliability, and the safety of the team depend on these unseen demonstrations of integrity. Integrity also extends to leadership. A SEAL leader must make decisions that affect the lives of teammates and the outcome of missions. The credibility of a leader is built not on rhetoric, but on consistent adherence to principles and standards, even when actions go unnoticed. Leaders demonstrate integrity by holding themselves accountable, enforcing standards consistently, and making decisions that reflect fairness and responsibility. Team members observe these behaviors closely, and the invisible acts of integrity create a culture of trust and dependability that enables cohesive action under extreme conditions. Even outside of missions and formal training, integrity shapes everyday behavior. A SEAL's life is structured around routines, preparation, and discipline that often occur without observation. Maintaining physical fitness, reviewing tactical knowledge, or supporting a teammate quietly are all acts rooted in integrity. These behaviors reinforce reliability and ensure readiness. They illustrate the understanding that integrity is not a performance, but a commitment to consistency, responsibility, and doing the right thing, regardless of whether anyone else notices. The principle of integrity also guides ethical decision-making in high-pressure situations. A SEAL may face circumstances where shortcuts or expedient solutions could be tempting. Acting with integrity requires resisting these temptations, recognizing the potential consequences of compromise, and choosing the path that upholds standards, protects the team, and honors the mission. These decisions may go unnoticed externally, but internally, they define the character and reliability of the individual. The habit of integrity ensures that a SEAL's actions remain predictable, trustworthy, and aligned with the values essential for operational success. Integrity reinforces trust and cohesion within the team. Each SEAL's consistent, principled behavior allows teammates to rely on one another implicitly. Knowing that every member will act with integrity even when unobserved reduces uncertainty, enhances coordination, and strengthens morale. This silent commitment to doing what is right ensures that the team can function under extreme stress, where missteps could have catastrophic consequences. The invisible acts of integrity create a visible network of trust that permeates every mission, decision, and interaction. Integrity is also essential for long-term resilience and self-discipline. A SEAL who develops habits rooted in integrity cultivates reliability, focus, and clarity of purpose. Over time, these habits shape both professional performance and personal character. Decisions made consistently with integrity, even when unobserved, accumulate into patterns of behavior that define the individual. This internal consistency provides a foundation for sound judgment, effective leadership, and the ability to navigate complex situations with confidence. The cultivation of integrity requires constant vigilance. A SEAL must remain aware of personal tendencies, pressures, and vulnerabilities that could compromise judgment. It demands self-reflection, honesty, and a commitment to continuous improvement. Integrity is not a one-time choice, but a continuous practice that permeates every action, every decision, and every interaction. It ensures that reliability is maintained, trust is earned and preserved, and the individual remains accountable to the team and mission, even in the absence of direct oversight. Ultimately, integrity is the invisible engine that drives a SEAL's effectiveness. It is the understanding that doing right is not contingent on recognition, praise, or reward. It is the internal compass that guides actions, sustains trust, and ensures that every choice, no matter how small or unseen, contributes to the greater good. Integrity is what allows a SEAL to operate with confidence, maintain cohesion, and succeed in situations where the stakes are highest.